I work at Campbell to connect civic engagement with our students and needs in the community. And I saw on Twitter a little bit about this Interfaith Service Challenge from the White House, and I thought, well, this is cool. How awesome would it be to have an interfaith project on a really what's known as a Baptist campus in the southeast United States between two cotton fields. So I pitched it to our campus minister, and she said, of course, why not? So we rallied the troops and had a bunch of offices get together. We had a little planning team with some students in the Triangle Interfaith Alliance, who Nancy mentioned I met last year at the last year's Wild Goose Festival. So we read a bunch of stuff and we started planning. And our goal was to, first of all, recognize that there are other faith groups on campus besides Christians, besides evangelicals, and to say, you matter just as much as we matter. So we would put the word out for international students. They're kind of the go-tos for when it comes to faith traditions besides Christians on campus. So our first event was a new spin on our 9/11 Day of Service, which we do every year. And we had a 9/11 Day of Service Amazing Faith Luncheon. So we put the two concepts together. And we had, I think, 15 or 20 students come, which was more than we expected, honestly, because it was such a new concept. It's the beginning of the year and it's hot out. So a few kids woke up early on Saturday, did a service project, and they came to have lunch with us. And we used the Amazing Faith structure to talk about our faith traditions. And that luncheon, I think, was mostly Christians, but that was okay with us because we were making a step forward. These kids were still interested in the interfaith concept. So we started moving from intrafaith to interfaith with our next Amazing Faith Center, and we had 60 students come. The majority of them were Hindus, and that was awesome because they're kind of the hidden population on our campus. Grad students don't live on campus. They're kind of in the outskirts, and they're in the science building all the time, or they're in the religion building all the time. So undergrads typically don't see them, and all of a sudden, these people with different backgrounds are coming out of the woodwork and saying, hey, I'm 25 years old too, or my parents are divorced too, or I believe the same thing about heaven that you do, or maybe it's different and that's okay. So people are pretty chill when they're eating, so we would give them some food and their questions, and we would do that. So we did one more of those and a couple of service projects, and our goal was for the end of the year to have a grassroots, student-led interfaith service effort. And we weren't really sure that was actually going to happen, but we put on paper as our goal. So, as Jordan said, she had this idea to continue the social justice effort on campus, and our interfaith student leader, Taylor, who's interning with the French Embassy in D.C. this summer, she would be here. She's kind of the interfaith half of it. She said, I want to have an interfaith club. And Jordan said, I want to have a social justice club. So I said, can you put them together? That would be really cool. And so, of course, they became friends, and now we have Campbell's first Interfaith Social Justice Club, and it's the first official recognition of any faith besides Christianity on campus since 1887, which is, I tell her, is a big deal, which I don't know if they fathom that right now, but in 20 years, they're going to look back and say that's a really big deal, because you're recognizing other faith traditions and other cultures that are in Goose Creek.